Sometimes we look back on how people lived in the last century and wonder, are we living a healthier lifestyle than our parents or grandparents did? Many people today believe that we actually live a healthier lifestyle than people in the past. Of course, it's true that people in the 1950s didn't go to the gym, but does that mean they were less healthy? Lifestyles in the 1950s were actually, in many ways, healthier than our lifestyles today. First of all, people in the 1950s were more active than we are today. Research suggests that people did more household chores, such as doing the dishes, sweeping the floors, and washing their clothes by hand. Not all houses had the labour-saving devices we have today, such as dishwashers, vacuum cleaners, or washing machines. Unsurprisingly, married women who stayed at home were much slimmer and fitter in the 1950s than women are today. Women then were burning over 1,000 calories a day doing household chores. In contrast, studies show that doing household chores today only burns about 556 calories a day. Food habits were also very different in the 1950s. The average modern-day family consumes more calories per day than the average family did in the 1950s. Adults consume about 400 calories more per day than adults did 60 years ago. Maybe we are eating more junk food. Or maybe we have less time to cook fresh food. Families in the 1950s cooked their meals using fresh ingredients, and they made their meals at home. But not everything the families in the 1950s ate was healthier than what we eat today. They ate more sugar and oil than we do today. And they also ate far fewer different types of vegetables than we do now. Another important fact to consider is that most families in the 1950s didn't have a car, because cars were too expensive for most people in those days. This meant that all the family members walked everywhere, to school, to work, or to the shops, to the bakers, the greengrocers, and the butchers. There were no freezers in typical 1950s semi-detached houses, so families had to buy fresh food more often, which, of course, meant that they did a lot more walking than we do now. Not many families in the 1950s had a TV, so evening entertainment included listening to the radio, reading books, and playing board games instead. There wasn't the internet, and there weren't any computer games or MP3 players. Most families sat around the hot fire that kept the room from being freezing cold, and spent the evening together as a family. They talked to each other more. So, given all these factors, do you think people in the 1950s had a healthier lifestyle, or do you think we have healthier lives today?